What really causes cholesterol problems? That's the question that has puzzled millions of people over 50, maybe even you watching right now. You've probably been told over and over again that cholesterol problems come from eating eggs, butter, bacon, or cheese. Maybe you felt guilty every time you enjoyed a breakfast with yolks or a dinner with steak. But let me tell you this straight from the beginning, the story you've heard for decades about. Cholesterol is only part of the truth. And if you don't get the full picture, you might keep fighting the wrong enemy while the real cause of your cholesterol problems is quietly hiding in the shadows. That's why today we're diving deep not into fear, but into clarity, because clarity is power, especially when it comes to your health after 50. I still remember a close friend of mine, Michael. He's 62, a man who lived most of his life believing that cholesterol problems came only from food. He spent years avoiding eggs, skipping butter, and saying no to cheese at family gatherings. Yet at his last checkup, his LDL cholesterol was higher than ever. He looked at me and said, "I don't get it. I've done everything they told me, but my cholesterol keeps climbing. What's really causing this?" And that's exactly the question that inspired me to create this video. Because so many of us are living like Michael, following old rules that might not be the real solution. Now, before we dive into the science, let's pause. I want you to think of cholesterol not as some evil substance flowing through your veins, but as something your body actually needs. Cholesterol is a building block. It helps your body produce hormones, it strengthens cell walls, and without it, life simply doesn't function. The problem is not cholesterol itself, it's what happens when the system that manages cholesterol goes out of balance. That's where the story gets interesting. So what really causes cholesterol problems? Let's peel back the layers. One of the biggest culprits isn't necessarily the cholesterol you eat, but the inflammation inside your body. Inflammation is like a tiny fire smoldering in your arteries. When your blood vessels get irritated, maybe from smoking, stress, processed sugar, or high blood pressure, your body tries to protect and repair those vessel walls. That's when cholesterol shows up, like a firefighter rushing to the scene. The cholesterol is trying to patch things up, but if the fire never stops burning, the cholesterol keeps building up, forming plaques that eventually block your arteries. See the twist? The cholesterol is not the villain, it's more like the firefighter. The real villain is chronic inflammation. Let me put it another way. Imagine your arteries are like smooth highways. When there's no traffic jam, everything flows easily. But if you start throwing nails and glass on the road, accidents happen, cars pile up, and traffic stalls. Inflammation is those nails and glass. Cholesterol just happens to be the car that gets stuck there. If we only blame cholesterol, we're missing the fact that the real problem is the damaged. Wrote out another factor that often surprises people is insulin resistance. Many Americans over 50 have some level of it, often without realizing. When your body can't handle sugar and carbs as efficiently anymore, your liver begins producing more cholesterol and triglycerides. That's why you'll often see people with both high blood sugar and high cholesterol. It's two sides of the same coin. And it's why cutting out eggs won't fix the problem if your diet is still overloaded with processed foods, sodas, and refined carbohydrates. Now, I know this might feel overwhelming, but here's where it gets encouraging. Because once you understand that inflammation and insulin resistance are key drivers, you realize that you have far more control than you thought. It's not about living in fear of eggs or butter. It's about lifestyle, the way you eat, move, sleep, and handle stress. And these are things we can work on together. Let me share something personal. In my late 50s, my doctor told me my cholesterol was borderline. I panicked at first, thinking I'd have to give up everything I loved. But instead of going extreme, I made small but powerful shifts. I started walking every morning, even just 20 minutes. I swapped out sodas for sparkling water. I made sure my plate had more vegetables and fiber, not because fiber blocks cholesterol like the commercials say, but because fiber nourishes the good bacteria in my gut and reduces inflammation. Within a year, my numbers improved and I didn't feel deprived. I felt empowered, and that's what I want for you. I want you to see cholesterol problems not as a sentence of fear, but as a wake-up call to pay attention to your body's balance. The truth is, genetics does play a role. Some of us are more prone to high cholesterol simply because of our family history. But even then, lifestyle choices can make a massive difference. Studies show that people who focus on lowering inflammation by exercising, eating whole foods, sleeping well, and managing stress often see cholesterol improve naturally. So, let's break this down into practical wisdom. First, don't fear healthy fats. Foods like avocados, nuts, olive oil, and yes, even eggs can be part of a balanced diet. They provide nutrients your body needs. The real enemy? Trans fats and processed oils hiding in packaged snacks, fried fast food, and margarine. Those cause inflammation, and that's when cholesterol becomes dangerous. Second, focus on fiber. Not the cardboard-tasting kind, but real, enjoyable sources like beans, oats, apples, and leafy greens. Fiber helps regulate blood sugar, supports gut health, and reduces that hidden inflammation. Third, movement matters more than perfection. You don't need a gym membership or fancy equipment. Even walking around the block after dinner, doing light stretching, or dancing in your living room can help your body handle cholesterol better. Fourth, stress management. This might surprise you, but stress hormones like cortisol can raise cholesterol levels. If you're always rushing, worrying, or carrying unspoken burdens, your body feels that pressure. Finding ways to breathe, relax, and let go, whether through prayer, meditation, or simply sitting quietly in nature, can have a real effect on your numbers. And finally, don't underestimate sleep. Poor sleep raises inflammation, disrupts hormones, and worsens insulin resistance. If you've been brushing off sleep as just part of aging, I urge you to take it seriously. Make your bedroom a sanctuary, keep it dark and cool, and give your body the rest it deserves. At this point, you might be asking, so, is cholesterol something I should never worry about? The answer is, no, you should absolutely keep track of it. High cholesterol combined with high inflammation is dangerous. But the way to manage it isn't to live in constant fear of food. It's to address the deeper causes. And that's liberating, because it means you can enjoy life, enjoy food, and still protect your heart. If this resonates with you, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and share it with someone you care about. Too many people are still living under the old myths, and they deserve to hear this too. And by the way, when you subscribe, you'll be joining a community of people over 50 who are choosing clarity and empowerment instead of fear. Before we wrap up, let's circle back to Michael, my friend who kept avoiding eggs. Once he shifted his focus from fearing cholesterol to reducing inflammation by cutting out sugary drinks, walking daily, and adding more vegetables, his numbers started to improve. And more importantly, he felt better. His energy returned, his mood lifted, and he no longer lived under the constant shadow of food guilt. That's the transformation I want for you. So the next time someone tells you cholesterol problems are only about what you eat, you'll know the truth. Cholesterol is part of the story, but not the whole story. The real causes are deeper inflammation, insulin resistance, stress, and lifestyle. And when you address those, you take back control. Let this be your turning point. Don't see cholesterol as a curse. See it as a teacher. It's your body's way of saying, pay attention to me. Give me balance. Give me care. When you respond with wisdom, with movement, with nourishment, and with peace, your body responds back. So what really causes cholesterol problems? Not eggs, not butter, not simply what you've been told. It's the imbalance in your system, the fires of inflammation, the stress and strain of modern life. But here's the good news. You have the power to put out those fires. And the first step begins with awareness. Thank you for being here with me. Don't forget to hit subscribe, share this video, and leave a comment about what changes you're ready to make in your life. Because together, we can create not just longer lives, but healthier, happier ones. And that, my friends, is the truth behind cholesterol.